Just trying to put a little black in there. Make it look like an opening like it should. I've never tried this paint over chrome. I don't know how well it'll hold, but I guess it doesn't matter as long as it just dries in there like that. It's not like a bumper or something, so trying to carefully just fill that bottom in with some black just to make it look a little more open. Set that aside. Got the interior all put together. There's a tack that goes up on here, but it was kind of, it wasn't that hot looking. I just left it off. I actually scratch built a tack I was going to mount down here or possibly up here, but it was a little too big and I was afraid it was going to be in the way of the windshield. The windshield comes back pretty sharp. And in the end, I've just left it off because I'm not doing a lot of detailing on this kit. I went in and kind of hand brushed the sides, that white, got the roll bar in, dash, decals. And you can, I don't know if you can see on the camera where I scraped along those edges and made it look like white piping. It came out pretty good. It actually, one of my experiments actually worked. So the interior is pretty well done. Chassis is pretty well done. Engine's done. Had a lot of trouble with this here. It was kind of spread out. I had to put a bunch of rubber bands and everything around it to try to squeeze this together like it should be. And hopefully that'll allow it to fit up in there good and not give me too much trouble. And there, everything's been sprayed with a dull coat, and then I went back and clear coated the dash and this back panel and a cup and some gauges and stuff. So that's all tied up. There's really nowhere to locate it on here. It just kind of lays in here. There's no locating pins or anything. I'm not going to be able just to glue that in there without, you know, trying to do it all at once. Glue that in, glue it to the body, and then shift and all that. So I think what I'm going to do is put the glass in the body, which I have a coat of paint on now. This is that Diamond Dust, one coat. So I'm going to get the glass in here and get this lined up as best as possible and go ahead and glue this in up into the body. And hopefully that won't stop me from putting the chassis in. I'll just have to play with it and see first before I glue anything, but I think that's what I'm going to end up having to do on this car. But yeah, I just sprayed the Diamond Dust about an hour ago. I put a second coat on it. I waited about 20 minutes and another coat. I like that Tester's one coat. That's pretty good paint. Kind of a heavy flake. But the key I found is you gotta spray at least, you gotta spray from a distance with that stuff or it pushes the paint around and makes it all blotchy. The trick to this stuff is spraying it from a distance and letting it almost kind of lay onto it. And then it leaves that good and the metallic flows right and everything. It took me a couple cars to figure out how to use that stuff right, but that's the trick. Get at least 12 inches away and it'll just go on there just beautiful. Just takes a few coats. But yeah, it's that Diamond Dust. I kind of like that color. And what I'm going to do, originally I was thinking of doing a black and white or black and silver. You know, I was going to like either do it black across the top and leave it silver, or do it black across the sides and maybe do like the hood scoop in black and then have that black on the sides. That would kind of tie it in. But then I got to thinking about it, and that's not going to make much sense with the blue interior, I don't think. You know, so now I'm thinking of doing a blue side panel, and of course I'd chrome the trim, and that would separate the blue from the silver, and then maybe even doing this in blue, or the hood scoop. So I'm still undecided. I know I wanted this Diamond Dust color somewhere, but I'm going to have to just kind of visualize how it's going to look with the black and then the blue interior. Maybe I should have painted the interior a different color, but I keep changing my mind. I guess it helps to have a plan before you start painting. Then you don't end up in this position where you don't know what to do for sure. Yeah, and I did trial fit before I painted everything. I did go back and trial fit my bumpers and grill and all that kind of stuff. And of course they don't fit very good. So I'm going to have to do some filing and sanding on my bumpers in some areas to get them to fit up in there good and tight and straight like they should. And then this piece is really tight. It pushes the body out a little bit, so I'm going to have to do some sanding and stuff and fitting. But luckily, I don't have to sand anywhere. I don't have to sand any of the chrome off of where it'll be seen. And it glue better sanded anyway. So, and then you got this insert here that goes up in the grill. It presses up in there and it's tight, so I've got to go in there and sand it and get it fit up in there good. But I like that's separate, that I can kind of black it out a little. I actually thought maybe even painting the bumpers, the body color, to make it more of a modern, give it more of a modern look. But then I've gone with the old style Steelies, so that's not, I'm not sure if that's exactly going to work out either. So I'm going to leave these chrome. I can always wait till the last minute and decide if I'm going to strip them and just go ahead and paint them before I put on. So that's where I'm at on that. But yeah, didn't have a lot of plan on this car. Just kind of been just deciding as I go. And the next one I'll have pretty well planned out before I do that. And then there's not a whole lot after that. Once I get the body, the fun part, the painting, and or maybe some kind of graphic, then I'll, you know, just got my lights and stuff like that. Just the last few details to do, and I think it's going to come out pretty nice. Oh, I took the glass, cut it all out, checked it, made sure it fit. I tell you what, the glass in this kit is thick. I mean, if this was real glass, it'd be like 2 inches thick in that car. But it looks with it futured. I just dipped everything in future and set it on napkins, and then I covered everything with a bowl, and I let it dry for a good day. And man, it just comes out looking, because it was kind of scratchy and hazy, man, it looks just as clear as crystal now. So that's a trick I always do now. I always take all the glass and dip it in future, but you got to put something over it because it will attract dust. But man, that makes that glass so shiny and pretty. Yep, that's where I'm at. That's about it for this installment.